Hi, welcome to Di's Home and Garden. Nice to have you here. Today I'm doing another sewing project and I'm making a headband. This is a wide headband. I did make the one with the little knot in it in my last video, but this one is a wider one. So if you're wanting something really to cover the top of your hair a little bit more, this is a good one for that. And there are many reasons why people wear headbands. Cover a bad hair day. Some people, I mean, I've got curly hair at the moment. It's gone a little bit straight. When I wash it, it curls right up. But some people have hair that they just need to cover, that they want to tame. They use headbands for it. So that's another reason. Other times it's like myself, losing hair in a big way. You may have alopecia, have medication that causes your hair to fall out, chemotherapy and those sorts of things. But there's all sorts of reasons for wearing a wide headband. Now this one you can adjust. If you don't want it as wide as it is, you can cut the fabric a little bit smaller. So let's get onto it and see what we need to do to make this headband. So here we have our fabric, and I have made pattern pieces. Now you don't need to make pattern pieces. You can just measure your fabric and mark it out on your fabric and cut direct from there. But I'm going to be making multiples of these because I'm going to soon be selling my goods at the markets and at the handmade markets. And so I'm going to be making lots of them. So I've made pattern pieces, but if it's just a one-off, you don't need to do that. So look in the description for all the measurements. But I will tell you that it's 16 inches across and 15 inches down. Now that's 41 centimeters by 38. And then we have another piece here, which is 12 inches by 3 inches or 30 centimeters by 8 centimeters. And we just need to cut one of each of these so our fabric is a single layer there. And we also need some elastic, some 1 inch wide elastic, and we need a 6 inch piece of that. So let's get cutting, and we can do this by hand or we can use our rotary cutter. You don't need to have a rotary cutter. If you don't have one, just use your scissors. I think I may need to replace my blade. It's not quite cutting through and this fabric isn't very thick. And I do have a spare blade there that I need to put in. Okay, that's one piece that we've got. Oh, sorry, I just caught my finger on that pin. I'll just take the pins out. They're actually in the way of me cutting this. So that's probably why it didn't cut properly there. Right. One side. Let's do the other side. I'll take those pins out again. fabric that I had left for making pair of pants, So even though it's only a very small piece, I won't use wraps because you will find it useful. So what I've got left over is just a small amount here, but this will be put aside because somewhere down the track I will find use for it. So I just cut off these small bits, but I'll put that aside, and who knows what I'm going to do with that. Possibly a little child's headband. Okay. Oh, I left one pin in there. Right, so we've got our pieces. Oh, we just need to trim that up a little bit there. Right. That is my spare. That is my other one. Okay, so I'm going to take these to my sewing machine and I'll bring you along with me. I'll just close my cutter. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the long length of this, I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to put a seam across it. And I'm going to do the same with this, with the length, and then I'm going to put a seam across that. So come with me while I do that. So I'm just going to put a seam along here. So I'm going to lock off my first stitch, so forward a little bit, back a little bit, and then forward again. I do have a locking stitch, but I think that I feel that this is more secure. My machine is making a little bit of noise there. And again, lock off the stitch at the end. Now, I would usually do this on my overlocker, or some people call it a serger, because that will trim that off nicely. But if you don't have one and you just have a standard machine, you can do it that way. So that's why I'm doing it on this machine. Oh, it's shaking. I'll go slower. Just making sure that the edges are lined up. And I'm just giving this 1/4 inch seam allowance. So to neaten that up, because I normally use the overlocker, I'll just quickly run it through there and then I'll be back. So we've just turned the fabric inside out. So we've got that there, and I just need to get my 6-inch piece of elastic. So I'll just do that and cut that to size. I'm actually just going to make it 6.5, or do I make it 7? I'll go 6.5, because I often find, I must have a big head, I find hats a bit tight, and I find making headbands to the measurements that they say can often be a little bit tight on my head. So I'm just putting a safety pin at the end of the elastic so I can thread it through. We're going to thread it through this piece here, and I just want to make sure that my seam there is centre. It's right along the centre there. I'm not ironing this, I don't want to iron this fabric. It'll stretch it out. It's got a lovely texture to it, and it might remove some of that texture. So I'll just put that at the end. It was giving a little lip which might catch as I'm trying to thread it through. So oops, my pin's opened up. Did it? No. All good. I think it was just some threads catching on there. Oops. Now, I'll just hold that there, and I'll pop a pin in the end. You can use a pin, or if you've got those clips. I don't have any of those clips. Maybe one day I'll invest in some, but I'm just using pins. So that's twisted a little bit inside there as I've threaded it through. So I just straighten that up a little bit, but I can do that after I've, there we go. Come on, come around. Here we go. So I'm just putting that seam back into the center of my elastic there. Okay. And I want to secure that, so I'll put another pin in. Okay, got that there in the center. So just showing you there that I've put the seam in the center of the elastic. There we go. And we're going back to the sewing machine, and what we're going to do is to secure that with a stitch there and a stitch along there. Okay, so I have secured either end of that by putting a stitch, running stitch across that, and that I've done a stitch across that. Now we just need to make sure that, okay, so making sure that your seam is in the middle there, nice and even. Make sure that you turn that over and that your seam is down. Then we're taking our elastic and we're popping that over the seam there, and we're doing 2 folds. Fold that up there and onto there, and this one. Now that wasn't quite even there, so I need to just bring that down a little bit. So again, folding it in quarters there, and again there. Down and over. Now I'm just going to take that back to the machine and put a seam in there, and then I'm going to do the same to the other end of the elastic. So I'll come back when I've sewn that. Okay, I've sewn either end of that, and now I'm just going to trim it back. again, trim on this side. And now we just pull it through. And those edges that we've just sewn are neatly encased inside where we've doubled it all over. Now we've got the elastic at the back, we've got the headband, we can wear it wide, we can tuck little bits under and wear it like that, but that's your completed headband. Didn't take long at all, and it didn't take much fabric. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and that way you'll know whenever I put a new video out. If you hit that little bell, the ding ding ding, you'll always be notified when a new video comes up. But thanks once again. Hope you give it a go. Please leave comments below if you do make it, and any questions that you may have, because I do go through all the comments and I do answer them. So bye for now. And here I am wearing the finished product. So it goes nicely with my blouse today, and covers any bits that I wanted to cover. So I do like it. I'm finding, I did say I had a little bit of a large head. I'm finding it a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do with the next one is to make that elastic at the back, possibly it was 6 inches. I did it 6.5. I think I might do it 7.5. But elastics are all different. So just work out the stretchiness of your elastic. Some have more give in them than others. So yeah, take that into account too. Thanks for watching. Bye.